Hey guys, feel like, I'm starting to get a bit clearer. Um, I think, being in this environment that I'm in, it's so high vibrational and it's so, it's such a catalyst for bringing things up. I was sharing with someone living on a really skinny peninsula, like where you're being hugged by the ocean and where there's just we'll just start there, where you're being hugged by the ocean. It's like you can literally feel like the ocean is just bringing stuff up to be met. It's like it's a very purifying energy field that I've been existing in for the last couple of months. And so there's been this dynamic where I can even feel it in my solar plexus right now, just how this field I'm in is bringing deep things, deep repressed energies up to be met by the light. Like anything that's not in resonance with the high vibrations here in my own body is needing to be released. It's like these energies are working to help me release them. And so, it's very clear why my heart guided me here. I'm such like a heart and soul match for this space. But my karmas, my unconscious energies, my shadow, have had a fight at times with being here because they don't get to be as in control. And actually I felt my shadow and my unconscious energies like, taking what you might call like a really big swing. Like they're like a haymaker. They've been trying their best to kind of stay in control. And they've been fighting and so so there's been this dynamic of feeling those energies come up really strongly and feeling kind of powerless to them at times and kind of just going for the ride with those unconscious energies as consciously and lovingly as possible. One of the things it's basically like this. It's like a lot of the high vibrations here, they bring up repressed energies, and then there's this inclination to want to escape, to want to find a distraction. And it's also just a lot of energy here. Just living on the ocean or surrounded by the ocean, living in nature, kind of jungle, forest nature, just so alive and lush, lots of sunlight and rain. I mean, lots of wildlife. It's a very protected land I'm on, and it's just very undisturbed. You can feel it when you're crossing the bridge. When you're driving over the ocean to get to where I live, you can feel a shift in energy start to happen, and it's very palpable. It's very obvious, at least to my nervous system and my energy field. And so a lot of the human parts, the psyche, it can just be a lot of energy, and they're like, oh, almost like we got to get out of here. And so it tries to leave the body. It's like maybe it wants to leave the body and go find another, or it just wants to derp out on like scrolling and videos, eating. I think eating can be the most best way to kind of escape sometimes, because that can be nourishing, low level dopamine, But I've been noticing recently this this enhanced capacity or willingness to just be here, in it, to be with it. I think, after a couple months, perhaps a lot of the more, shaky parts, more of the parts that wanted to escape and distract. I think they've slowly been dissolved a lot more, and I'm starting to feel more grounded here a bit, more just like willing to be here with these energies rather than wanting to kind of escape. And so, yeah, you'll notice life tends to always take you to places to where you need to go for the deepest healing. It'll bring you into relationships you need to be in for the deepest healing, the kind of work you need to be in, the kind of financial situation, etc. And so always having an appreciation for that life's always working for your highest good. And coming here, it has been a surrender of a lot of parts of me that, if I'm being honest, there's parts of me that would resist vibrating so high, vibrating in such love, abiding in such peace. Parts of my nervous system have been wired for drama, for stress, for ups and downs. And so it's like it sounds insane to say, but a lot of parts of us will resist vibrating higher because it's the unknown, it's unfamiliar. It can feel like too much, like sometimes receiving so much love, like there's so much love and peace and joy and high vibrational energy to receive here. And I've noticed my nervous system has had to slowly kind of adapt to being able to receive so much of this goodness. And that can sound crazy too, right? Like, why would we be resistant to receiving so much goodness? And we could say, maybe we feel unworthy of it and all of that. But it's also like the nervous system has to recalibrate for higher vibrational energies. And that's a big part of this awakening journey. That's why so many people will consider Kundalini energy evil. It's like, or something. It's like, no, Kundalini energy is the highest vibrating energy you could possibly come in contact with. It's just that the Kundalini energy is making contact with a nervous system that's calibrated for lower vibrating energies. And so when this Kundalini energy comes into the nervous system and it just floods the nervous system with so much light and so much love and so much peace, it's like the nervous system just gets so overwhelmed. It's like meeting an alien or something. If you were to meet a very high vibrating alien, it would like fry you, right? You'd be like fried. That alien, he'd probably be carrying too much light. And so that's kind of Kundalini. It's just like so much light, it can like fry the system at first. Your system has to go through a period of recalibration to where it can hold so much light. And so my system's gone through that in a more kind of a less dramatic way in these last 2 months, where I'm learning like, okay, yeah, I actually want to just abide in this lovingness and this peace that's here. And so I've been having to surrender a lot of parts of me that have been fighting it, resistant to it, running from it, and just kind of waiting for my nervous system and my animal body and my physiology, my biology, my cells to get to the point to where they've been transformed enough to where they can just rest in this much light, in this much goodness. And this has been an ongoing process. It seems I'm taken to places with high vibrational energies, but this place in particular, it's been something quite unique. And so there's just been a lot of energy. And I think this place is really all about the heart chakra too. It's just been like a lot of love. And honestly, it's been so much love sometimes that I'll get confused with the love. I'm like, I'm falling in love with everything and everyone more so than I ever have. Like, I've always had a very open heart chakra, but it seems recently it's like there's just even more love. And so I've had to kind of get grounded in this much love. And to do that, I've really had to kind of find some power and some clarity in my center. Because when there's so much love, it's like, it can kind of like pull you. It's intoxicating, And because you're so in love, like everyone's falling in love with you too. And it just is like this whole thing. it's really beautiful and it's an incredible experience, but it also calls for some ground and some clarity. And and it like really wakes up the emotional heart. And so when your heart's really opening, and this is something that teachers have talked about, that's one of the things that can happen is you just fall in love with everyone. And so it's important to have some discernment there. And yeah, I think that's coming online more fully. This sense of allowing, like, just being in love with life and letting that flow, but not getting kind of lost to it, not getting so pulled by the emotional heart, just staying rooted in what's true. And because we want the love to be there, we want these high vibrational energies to be there. And this is all part of learning and being a human and being on this really dynamic spiritual awakening path where we're awakening to all of these new energies and we're becoming alchemists in real time. And part of that is kind of trial and error. It's like, whoa, we open to massive love, we get lost in it, we kind of experience the karma of that, of getting lost in love and the emotional heart. And that helps us ground, and that helps us become more centered, and that actually helps us learn to hold abundant amounts of love while still remaining centered, right? It's like we have to go through our trials and tribulations and our lessons to really attain mastery. I mean, there's no way to mastery except through experience. At least that's what my firsthand experience tells me, and what a lot of the masters have told us. I mean, unless you're like born like a Yogananda, you know? Some people are just born as masters, and that's fine. That's beautiful. And then they can live a more renunciate life. But my sense is, that's not most of you watching this. Not this lifetime. I mean, you're all masters in your own way, of course. But yeah, who knows? This is just me talking and what's coming through. So yeah, be easy with yourself. Learn your lessons with grace. Like, give yourself grace as you're learning your lessons. That's something I've gotten a lot better at. It's like noticing, I'm getting a bit lost here, but being nice to myself about it and being like, all right, it doesn't help to be self-condemning. It helps to just be loving and compassionate, same way you would be with, with an animal or a child that doesn't know better. It's just like innocence. But yeah, that's the journey I'm on. So honored to be here with you all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Until next time, namaste.